Timbits with Tim Gard.
Much better. Share. You know, I think that if you are one of the few on the planet that are able to stand up here and speak and share, that you should be doing it, that you have a responsibility to do that. Do you believe that? And do you believe that? And if you are sharing, you need to do it so well that you don't doubt yourself, that you have to be strong and never stop growing your ability to share on stage. A few years ago at the National Speakers Association, the second to the last closing speaker was Mike Rayburn. He got up on stage and played guitar, Beethoven's Fifth, to a hologram of himself. It had never been done before. It was the most incredible thing I have seen in my life. And he walked off stage to thunderous applause. And I didn't know it then, but we had another speaker. Backstage was Tony Newman, who didn't have a hologram. She had a ladder. And I'm sure she was back there going, I don't have a hologram of my ladder. And she walked out on stage, and she blew the audience away, sharing her story. There's a handful of people on the planet that could have followed Mike. Tony, where are you? Tony was the one at that moment to share her story powerfully. Well done. Well done. We share our story. It's a never-ending story. For years, I've told the big sweaty guy in the middle seat story. It's one of my favorite stories, but it is not the last story I ever tell. I had spoken in Germany. I flew into Chicago. I go to get on my flight. I miss my plane, and I'm walking down the concourse, and I'm going to have to wait 8 hours to connect to another flight. And I see up on the midway that here is a flight to Denver. It had been unscheduled. They'd been there 8 hours while the plane was being repaired. And I thought I could get on that flight. There was one seat in the very last row, in the middle seat, and I was thrilled to get it. And I got on the plane, and the two people that I'd be sitting in the middle of had been sitting there drinking all day long. And the door had closed and then opened for me, and when I came on, they were not silent about their disapproval of me being on board. And they're going, it's typical, and they were getting angry and angry, and I walked up to the second to the last row. There were 3 people already there, and I said to the person in the aisle, I'm right here. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, it's a new thing. I said, United Airlines having some passenger problems. You raise the armrest up. I said, it's 3 to a row. You guys, I'm going to just kind of get a run at it, and it's 4 to a row. And this guy goes, there's no 4 to a row. And the guy behind that I'm supposed to sit next to goes, I heard a 4 to a row. And he goes, there's no 4 to a row. Oh, yeah, I'll get a little run at it. And the flight attendant comes over and goes, what's going on? I said, it's 4 to a row. He goes, there's no 4 to a row. I sat in the middle seat with my 2 new best friends, and we laughed about this all the way to Denver. And about every few minutes when it got quiet, the guy in the other aisle seat would go, there's no 4 to a row. The stories continue. We have a responsibility to be so good that when we share, we do not question our ability to share. And we keep growing and getting better and better. But we also need to share off stage. When I travel, I have fun. I think that my wife, Sophia, never really imagined that the stories were really the tip of the iceberg. When it came to traveling with Tim, one of the first trips we'd gone on, we were in Phoenix, I decided that I would add a spa day to our conference day, and I added a whole extra day at the end of the conference so that she and I could attend the spa together. And I don't like spas, but I've been married before, and I am trainable. And I like spas now. And so I booked an extra day, and we check in, and the lady at the counter says, Mr. Gard, I'm really sorry that the room rate of $150 per night, that was when you booked it. When you rebooked it, they booked the entire 4 days at that new rate. And I said, that's not good. That's a problem. She goes, nothing I can do about it. I said, there's got to be something we can do about it. I reached in my pocket, which I think she thought I was reaching for money, and I wasn't. What I was reaching in my pocket for were these little itty-bitty chickens that I carry with me wherever I go. And as I started to bring them out, she goes, "You cannot bribe me, sir. You cannot bribe me." And I said, "Now, before you say that, you might just want to look at what I have to offer." And I slid them across the table just very slowly. And she goes, "You cannot." And she got right about there, and I turned my hand over. And she saw them. And she wanted them. Really, really badly. And she goes, I don't think, and I said, "Now, before you make up your mind, I'm just going to sweeten the pot just a little bit more." I ended up getting the room for $80 a night, plus a $20 a night spa certificate. And the next day, she wore the little itty-bitty chickens as earrings. Itty-bitty chickens. We have to share ourselves as we travel. We have to be able to give of ourselves, and you must walk your talk. When we're out there, share on stage, share off stage, be congruent, but more than anything else, have fun.